Hey, welcome everyone. Pat Mitchell with TrickTrades here. And in this free video lesson, I'm going to discuss the current market conditions with you. So let's get into it. It's obviously no secret the market has completely fallen apart. But it's about what we do next and how we prepare ourselves for it, right? So, over the course of the past year, I've been guiding the TrickTrades members as well as my YouTube viewers as well on exactly how to play this market, what to expect next. And before people start going into all this hindsight and predictions, it's just, oh, you're just predicting, you don't really know. Of course, we don't know where the market is heading, but it's about being prepared. And through technical analysis, I can show to you, and I'm going to prove to you that over the course of the last year, I've been dead nuts bang on correct over what's been happening with specific dates and months, preparing you guys. So it started back in January of last year when we experienced that extreme market volatility. And I did a free YouTube video as well as some member only content. But the free YouTube video lesson from TrickTrades was dead nuts bang on. I said that this is the start of the bear market. It's going to take some time, and we may come back up to test highs, and we might even break highs. But after that, it's going to come crashing down. And it's going to come crashing down in October. That's going to be the start of it. Okay? So, and that's exactly what has happened here. Now, I'm not trying to come off like I'm some sort of market genius or anything else like that. But I will say this. When it comes to technical analysis and history, there's no better place to be than TrickTrades. I have your best interests at heart, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So, Tino, roll the clip.
Like I said, because we're at extreme greed and a lot of big money will follow indexes like this, we could be due for a little bit of a pullback, and that would make shorting a little easier. We ripped to all-time highs today. We closed on highs, right at highs, just at breakout levels. Now, when the market is ripping like this, all it takes is this smallest little piece of bad news, and the market can tumble right quick. Now, I'm not saying pull 20% or some crazy nonsense. I'm just saying we can have a big red day, such as we had on, I believe that was Tuesday. So especially when it's really greedy and ripping to all-time highs. Greed is not a good thing, guys. Greed in the stock market will really hurt you. And as I teach at TrickTrades.com, you need to have that healthy balance between fear and greed, okay? Because fear protects you, and greed, that little bit of greed is okay because we want to capitalize on whatever opportunity and whatever stock we're in at the time, and you don't want to trade too fearful, right? Trade a little scared. Fear, it's like I said, guys, it's that balance, it's that weigh scale. You want that nice healthy balance between fear and greed, okay? I want to explain something to you. Now, when the markets sell off like this, you have people that are eternally long this market and every market. They believe that the stock market can only go up and up and up and up. They don't believe crashes are ever going to happen, even though they happen so many years, right? I mean, it's all cycles. Now, I'm not saying this is a crash, by the way, guys. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're due. The market ripped up from the beginning of the year, which has only been a month. It peaked at 7%. I mean, those are gains that are incredible. And then we had almost a 4.5% pullback today. That's big, right? So why did Apple and Baba That's another one that did the exact same thing. You can see the daily candle is very similar to Apple. The intraday is very similar. We had a ramp, a rip in the morning, and then a sell off the rest of the day. So why did it do that? Okay, I'll get to the point, guys, and quit beating around the bush. It pops up like this because like I said, there are people in this market that are eternally long this market, meaning no matter what the market is going to bounce, they look for dip buying opportunities, dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, dip buy. They're they're morons, right? And they wonder why the majority of traders lose. It's because of that mentality. Okay, they will constantly and always find some sort of support level to buy the dip. Say before I get into this, I've been seeing this everywhere on social media this week and the week before. People saying that, oh, it's such a snooze fest and it's so slow out there. If you're saying that this market is slow and a snooze fest, I got a news flash for you. You're doing it wrong. You are trading the wrong stocks. This has been the most volatile that the market has been in years. Okay, I mean, just look at a volatility like UVXY. This is volatile. Look at the volume going in. Like this, it's incredible. It's incredible market. Uh, People are saying this is the start of a bear market. I'm starting to agree that it is. We're definitely in correction territory. It did bounce from the 200. Once it breaks the 200, we're definitely in for a ride. And you will see at the beginning of bear markets, this is what happens. You get this yo-yo effect. Okay, it'll go down, and you'll get these violent swings, both back and forth, massive down days, big up days, massive down days, big up days. It's that tug of war between bulls and bears. People don't know whether to be long the market. They're looking for any type of a situation, any type of a trigger to go long back in the market to buy the dip, and then, oh shit, I was wrong, and then they sell. It's a back and forth, and it's going to be this way for a while. Now, that being said, with me saying that I do believe that this is the beginning of a bear market. I'm not saying that the market can't come back up to test highs or even slightly break them. This is the beginning. Okay, this is the turning points.
Okay, folks. So I have had quite a few previous video lessons, free video lessons on YouTube over this about this very subject. I've been pounding the table since the beginning of the year, since January after the market went parabolic. I said what to watch for in October. October is traditionally when markets pull back. We have market corrections, market crashes. Um, Day traders and investors are, they're a pretty superstitious bunch. And a lot of people are pulling out money. They're very scared. You're going to see this setup. So I just want to go over the SPY quickly. Oops. So the SPY here, starting to pull back. It tried bouncing yesterday off this trend, and we're getting a little bit of a gap down. Now, I'm not saying like this is done. I'm doing this pretty early in the morning. It's like 5 a.m. my time. And I'm not saying that it's going to continue to sell off, but I'll tell you what, if we start to see these stocks from yesterday break yesterday's lows, we're going to see a lot of panic. We're going to see what we saw yesterday over the SPY. Now, obviously, this is it. What a crazy week, guys! Holy shit! We went from literally, well, not literally, damn near market all-time highs, all the way past below. We got trend and the 200 SMA. fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What a crazy week. And so much volatility. Volatile markets are good. That's what we want. But too much volatility creates just like it's like nonsense, right? And that's kind of what's been going on. Market is starting to bounce after hours, but you know, that tug of war, you're gonna have people trying to buy the dip. There are people that are basically eternally long the market. Every time there's a red day, especially a big red day, you'll see them trying to buy that dip, okay? There's people that think that the market will never go down, it only goes up. And I mean, yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from, but it depends on how much pain you can withstand. I mean, these bear markets, they can last a really long time. Back in here, when we would have these big panics, okay, intraday, when it would dump out and then like finally that volume exhaustion would come in and then it retraced with shorts covering and people buying dips, those fucking retracements were insane, man. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that, but it would dump, panic, and then it would come all the way back up like that. And then it would kind of do its thing, right? And then when it came to low of day and it broke, it would fucking panic and then it would retrace super high up. And it just kept doing that. What's going on in this market, so this is, I don't know, we'll call it January, okay? What's happening in this market is we're getting these big dumps, weak-ass bounces, right? So when you get a lot of panic, you need to, that's why you need to pay yourself, right? It doesn't need to be a lot, but you need to pay yourself. It's about the process of it all. You're only trading with 100 shares, right? So yeah, it's hard to peel off. You really want to milk it, but man, you got to take this as a gift. This potato/football thing. Yeah, that's right. I'm an artist. Man, I mean, these are gifts, man. It's a straight up gift to see this. Okay? Take it. Don't look for more. It's not going to keep coming down. There will be a retracement. And they're usually like this. Guys, keep that in mind. What's happening right now is very strange because these weak little bounces, they're not right. This is not right. It's funny. It's very off. That's why I'm using so much caution right now, guys. Something just, I don't know, man. It doesn't fucking smell right. Like I said this morning, I typed in chat that, you know, when I left, that, you know, market seems to be uptrending, you know, seems to be good, but I'm not convinced. Okay? Like in here. That's what it's saying, man. I'm not convinced. I'm not. I don't trust it. Nothing but traps. Look at this. Look at this beautiful higher low. Right? And then it just fucking sells, man. It just panics again. You guys got to start looking at volume. Volume's very important. Okay? Exhaustion volume is important. Okay? You'll get a retracement after these exhaustion volume bars. Okay. I want to point something out. We got a range right here that's really important on the SPY. Okay? Do you see this gap up from here to here? Or this gap and then this candle from here to here? Do you guys realize how important this candle is? This is the most important candle you're ever going to see for the next 6 months to about a year and a half. Okay? It's not just about showing strength. This needs to hold. If this candle lets go, if this breaks these lows and starts coming down, we got this 200 SMA. This right here, guys, is a historic candle. And I need you guys to look at it this way. This candle right here is the fit in or fuck off candle of the year. This is going to determine bull or bear. This candle is the most important candle for 6 months to the next 2 years. Okay? I think so too. Also, before you guys go, because of the no wick or tail, no. Because we gapped over the 200 SMA. This needs to hold. That's it. That's it. You don't even need to look into it any more than that. It's not about the body of the candle. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just these levels. This candle needs to hold. Lows need to hold. Okay? The most important candle for the next 6 months to 2 years. Right here. Also, I want to talk to you guys very quickly. I know you guys are busy, but don't go. This is important. So the trade exchange tells me how the market closes every day. It tells me the imbalance. Yesterday I saw something with that imbalance that really gave me a little piece of the puzzle. Do you see how big of a day this was? Do you know that the imbalance on close was 1 billion to the sell side? Yesterday was 1 billion to the sell side, actually. That's telling me, that's telling me that the institutions, the fucking big boys, are selling into our buying. It closed, the imbalance was 200 or 300 million to the buy side today. So that's a normal day. That's a normal day. Buy or sell, by a couple hundred million, no big deal. This day was 1 billion to the sell side. Yes, Tex. They think the end is here. They're getting out on this last push. Okay? I think a fucking rug pull, just like Tex said, is coming. I think it's coming. There's no reason on a day like this that there should be that imbalance. Okay? Smart money is getting the fuck out. They used that meeting as a big dump. They got out when all the dumb money's buying this stupid fucking dip and the midterm election ramp. Okay? They're called smart money for a reason. You follow that smart money, you can pick the direction of the market. Because they control the market, we don't. The SPY. I got an itchy elbow this morning. Pretty wild lately. This candle, this daily candle looks really bad. It closed pretty well right on this support here, hey, from the other day. I really do believe now if this area breaks, man, that's it. It's just hanging on by a thread, isn't it? It's ugly. It's really, really, really ugly. Market does not look good. Definitely have broke this trend, right? Let me scroll back a little bit. Let's take a look at. So basically from the bottom, let's lay out a trend. Let's take a look at this. So there's a couple ways. You take it from this bottom. I think maybe we'll take it from this one here. Somewhere in this area. Because it's pretty close to this, right? So now let's zoom out maybe a little further. So that's basically it now. That's the lifespan of it. Pretty wild, hey? I mean, it hasn't been that long. So at lows, when the market really tanked the last time, and it looks very reminiscent of what's going on now, does it not? It really does. And this is the type of panic. I'm gonna zoom in here because, oops, let me get rid of this. Okay. So this is what happened the last time, okay? Now, this was the mortgage crisis, right? And we had a top, okay? You can see it started getting pretty volatile when it came down, came back up to test highs, and it actually broke highs. And then it came down, started chopping, and then it was trading in and around that 200 SMA, and then it tanked, and then it just kind of just held, looked like it was going to try and recover, and it just couldn't get back over this 200. And once it broke these lows again, man, and it came up and retested, that was it. It's a big dump, right? So I want to grab, what could I do here? One sec. So I don't want to move things around too much. No, I'll have to reset those. So does this not look familiar? Right? See here, put in a high. So put in a high, right? Came to test highs, it broke. Came to test highs, it broke. And then that was it. So dips down, comes back up, right? Comes back up. And now we're starting to get into some panic areas. Now, this is just, it's obviously this isn't an exact science, but it's eerily reminiscent of 2008 at the mortgage crisis, right? So once it starts falling apart, I believe, let's go to this. I believe that if this area breaks, these lows break, it's going to be very quick and hard and fast panic, right? Just like it did back in 08, right? And this crash or whatever you want to call it, this lasted. So we had the top at November of 2007, and then it finally bottomed at March of 2009. So from our time scale here, because this is the area we're in, right? This is January. So let me get that again. January of 08. Okay? January of 08. So all of this nonsense. And then it finally found a bottom February of 09. So a year. It lasted a year. Okay? And then it started finally trending back. Going back to talk about the market and, where it could be headed and, some areas to watch. Really, what I'm watching for, I am watching for a trend test. I do think we're going to come down and test this trend. You got to remember, guys, like let's pull back on this chart. Like market comes up, it pulls back, comes up, pulls back. And I mean, man, it's been since then, since the bottom here, it's went straight up for what, 9 years? Yeah, 9 years, right? We need to pull back. It's healthy for it to pull back, period. We are in pretty important territory right now, okay? Now, that's not saying that the market can't come up. It still could come up, guys, but the reason why this is so important is it's starting to form a downtrend, right? And we had a sharp downtrend here, but this is more of like that's just a steep pullback. Now it's come up, now it's pulled back, and now it's come up again. This is its downtrend. So, how the fuck can I do this here? So you see how the market is riding up at this type of an angle? I'm just going to draw a really kind of half-assed trend line. Okay? Oops, shit. Okay, do you see this angle? The degree of this angle? That's the overall trend of, oops, come on. That's the overall trend of this market roughly for the past, 9 years. Okay, roughly, bear with me, guys, okay? Do you see the angle of this candle now? Or this trend line? Do you see how it's pretty much the same? But it's opposite? That it's starting to form its trend. It's starting to form its downtrend. So over the next little bit here, if we can reject, give or take a little bit, if it breaks the fucking trend, it breaks the trend. It's what happens next, okay? Like, there's a lot of emotion right now in the market. So that's why a trend line may not quite hold up. All right? For the most part, it will, but I'm talking a little tick above. Maybe a day it pops over. Maybe a day it, kind of flickers around that area, but it does kind of break it. It's in that area, and it's very close, okay? And that's what's important here. That's what's important. I'm telling you guys, you guys are fucking witnessing history. This is important times right now. Okay, you guys remember that trend line I just drew, right? You guys notice this? Do you see how eerily the same it is? If I were to pull up, and I hate to fucking do this because it kind of messes my charts up, but that's okay. You see this? Do you see this? Do you see the top? How we top here, breaks slightly above, comes back, puts in a lower high. Look at this. Look at this. Right? Look at this. Do you see how close that is? And how it pulled back and then popped back up and it formed the exact same trend? So what if history repeats itself, okay? If history repeats itself, what are we looking at? What comes next? The fucking pain, man. The panic. You guys see that? If you drew a trend right here, we get a pullback, a pop up, and then the fucking pain, man. The real pain begins. So, I'm telling you guys, be careful of your long positions. Tell you what, Glenn. Glenn brings up a nice question. He's asking, how long do I think it'll last for if it does turn? I think she's going to be a doozy, guys. And I'll show you why. You guys see this? You see how straight... This is a penny stock, guys. For the last 9 years, this is a penny stock. Straight up and down like an elevator shaft, man. That's not healthy, man. It's not healthy. When's the last time we had a major pullback, guys? This little chicken shit pullback here is nothing. That's a healthy pullback. That's a pull to trend. Okay? So let's put it that way. All right? Let's put it that way. So, yeah, exactly, Rob. Absolutely. So, let's put it like this. Do you see this little chicken shit pullback? That held trend, right? You can see my sharp trend, and I'll pull it back so you guys can see it. All right? So you see that little pullback right here? And how bad it looked at the time? Now keep this trend line in mind, okay? One sec. So this pullback here formed its trend. Do you see how far down we have to go yet? Just to test that trend? Fucking huge, man. That's a massive pullback. It's massive. And people are panicking now. Right? People are panicking now, guys. This is nothing. This is nothing. If the market really fucking confirms this downtrend that we're in right now, and it does pull back to this trend, it'll pull back to the 240 area. Originally, I had said, I believe the 230, I believe my call on the market for a bounce was 231 and change. Okay? And that's before I had a trend line up. That was just, that just looked where it would bounce. Yeah, they keep propping it back up. It's no different than a penny stock, guys. How they prop it. Right? Down here is too low. Down here is too low. They don't want to keep selling it off. They don't want to keep selling, sell. They don't want to do that. They want to sell it off, and then they want to prop it up, getting dumb money to buy dips, right? Because it kind of it reclaimed that support area. Oh shit, the dip is in. Buy. No way, man. No way. I don't buy it for a second. Not for a second. They're going to prop it back up, and then they're going to sell it back down. Okay? That's what happened here. That's what happened here with that news that Trump signed that deal. There is no fucking deal. So far, what I've said has happened this week. That we were going to consolidate right down in this little box. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but that's exactly what's been going on. Okay? I said we were barely going to get back over the 9 EMA, and that's what it's done. It hasn't been able to get over the 9 EMA. It ticked over yesterday and then got hammered back down. And yesterday the 9 EMA would have been somewhere up in this area, not so down low. So it's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. So if you guys want to know my thoughts where we're headed here, I really think we're going to consolidate again tomorrow. It'll be an up or a down, a choppy day. It's going to be a choppy day tomorrow, guys. I hate to break the bad news, but it's going to. And then next week, I really think it's lights out, guys. Man, there's something just in the air about the market right now, isn't there? You know, you can feel it, can't you? You know, it's just there's a lot of money exiting right now, guys. There's a lot of money exiting. So a week ago, we were up higher. A week ago, we were at 15. So we were a little bit higher, right? Yeah, we're gonna hit a big drop here, guys. We're gonna hit a big drop. I don't even think it's gonna take until January to hit that. I think it's gonna happen before that. Um, there's not much that's going to be able to save this market right now, guys, because how do you know how everyone's holding on for this trade deal with China? I got another news flash for you. It ain't going to fucking happen. We're not going to reach a trade deal just kind of overnight. They'll say we're going to reach a trade deal, but we're not going to, right? Trump will come out and he'll say that we've reached a trade deal just like he did before. But there really is no trade deal. They're just talking. It's going to be a long fucking time before they actually reach a definitive handshake, signed on the dotted line, actual hardcore deal. It's not going to happen for a long time, man. No fucking way. You know? So like I said, you know what? Going into next week, I really think we're going to start testing. Wow, we'll definitely test out this. I think we're going to start testing in this area next week here, guys. I think we're going to have some dirty days here, like a big dirty day like this. That's what I think. Ah, yes, there it is. Let's look at this chart, guys, okay? Let's spend a little bit of time on this chart. Okay, it's not the greatest picture, but you guys get it, right? So this is the '08 mortgage crisis, head and shoulders, right? Do you guys see? I really want you to really look at this chart right now, okay? And study all the subtleties. Look how eerie it is. But that's that consolidation I'm talking about that we're going through right now. And it was short, guys. It was only about a week. Right? And then what happened? As soon as we get that one more big day testing lows, I think we crack. And fucking look at that. Look at that dump, guys. That's a big dump, and it's going to happen in, 2-3 days. And I think that's what's next. But I think where we're going to end up on that dump, it'll test this and break that. Right? So probably somewhere in here. So let's take a look back on the daily chart to give us an idea of where roughly that would be. So if we break this area, right? If we break this area by a little bit, that'll put us at some support here, right? Now, I said that we weren't going to bottom till about 231, 232. I can't remember exactly what I said, but that was my call on that. Yeah, 231. Yeah, 231.74 right there. That's where we're going to finally stop the free fall. I really think so, and I know it looks crazy, but man, I feel it coming, man. I feel it coming. See, the problem is what's going to be happening is when we see those days, it's not going to happen all in the morning. The morning is going to start super fucking fakey, just like it has been. Okay? So for this past week, that's what's going to happen. What a wild week, folks. What a wild week. It's funny how dead nuts on I was when it came to the big dump that it was coming this week. Man, I tell you, shoulda, coulda, wouldas this week, hey? Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that because I could probably use some of that, my own advice on that. So I think markets like this, guys, they're definitely going to be full of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and there's going to be a lot of them, especially if you were in a trade and then you ended up getting out too early, or you ran out of shares to cover. It's going to be a real hard market mentally, not so much to trade. Like, I find if you're patient, like the setups come, man. This has been a really long bull run, guys. It's been way too good for way too long, man. Way too good for way too long. And I really do believe that. So I need you guys to definitely listen up to what I'm saying. You're going to have very mixed signals right now. There are so many catalysts right now, Mac and everyone, that there's so much going on that even if one positive thing, let's say, and this shit ain't going to happen for a long time, okay? So we're going to start getting lots of mixed signals. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Exactly. And every morning, as soon as they hit enough pain, right? Well, guys, look, if you invested at the beginning of the year, okay, January 3rd, right here, January 2nd, right here, okay, you're underwater, guys. Okay, you're underwater. And if you invested at the beginning of this year, at 2017, somewhere in this area, man, you fucking, you made from your entry to highs. Now that's only saying that you would have taken one, you wouldn't have added on dips. Everybody adds on dips, right? So your average, if you were here, your average is probably, I don't know, here, or something. Look how close those guys are going back 2 years, right? Guys, if you go back to what? Last week's class? Last week and actually the week before, because I talked about what I said was going to happen in the markets. My idea, my speculation of the charts. What did I say? Did I not say exactly this? Like to the fucking T? I put a high at 270 on from this day. Said up to 270, come down. As soon as it broke support, she's going to go straight down. And it has. But you know what? Did I make $1 million? No. But you know what? I fucking should have. We do need this to bounce, right? Like, we need it to relax a little bit. This is a fucking big sell-off, guys, from fucking, highs to lows. It's almost 10%. Do you guys see that? So from highs down to lows is 16, almost 17%. Okay. We're almost at a crash. A crash is technically 20% from highs. Okay. Just in the past week or 2 weeks, guys, from the 2-week highs, from highs to lows, we have 9%. This is almost a correction in itself. Do you guys realize that? Wait, dial that in. Let's see here. One sec, guys. I just got to focus to try and nail this. 235.32. $235.32. That's the crash mark, guys. Now, I might be off by a couple of cents. I don't think so. I think I dialed that pretty good, but it's... Let's see that again. It's an important number, right? 235.19, actually. 235.19. Okay, 235.19. That's the crash mark, guys. I think we're going to beeline it straight down to this mark. I just kind of do. You know what I'm thinking is going to happen, guys? I think that this market's going to come down faster than what even I think, Like, it's coming down hard and fast, guys. Look at the volume. Look at the volume back here, okay? And we thought that was pretty crazy volume. Look at this fucking volume, guys. They haven't let off the throttle yet. Right? I really think this market's coming down a lot. They're trying to get people to buy the dip. They, as in them, are inciting a squeeze. It rips back up and they sell it back off. Okay. That's important for you to understand. These dips are not to be bought right now. And I know everything in your fiber of your being is telling you to buy these dips. You can take a short-term dip buy opportunity, right? But you can't be holding, man. Not right now, because this market is not done yet. And it's funny because we're going to see this pop back up for, like, let's say 3 days in a row, right? Like, it'll have 3 green days in a row. And you're going to see all over CNBC, all over Twitter, I told you there's no bear market. Fucking told you so. Bullshit, guys. What did it do back here? There were still big runs back up, right? But ultimately, it will come down. Right now, it will. It has to. It cannot keep going like this, guys. It wouldn't be healthy. Even if, let's say, the market bounced right now and it started trending really, really, really nicely, okay? Really nice trend all the way back up, real healthy. Man, it would be so heavy and so scared on the way back up for years to come. It just would. We're way too high up. We're way too high up right now. This is healthy. And a lot of people are going to lose their asses right now in their 401ks and all of that. People are going to lose their asses. But I'm telling you what, in the long term, it needs to happen, man. It needs to happen. So now that you guys have seen that, and I've shown you guys exactly how I've prepared not only you, my free YouTube subscribers, but the TrickTrades members behind the paywall of TrickTrades.com. Especially the one where it was just about to crash. Really, really cool. It's, and don't forget too, that there's a lot of people right now in this market that they don't know what to do. They have no idea that you can actually turn around and flip stocks, flip short. So meaning to short a stock, you can actually make money on the way down. So they're just kind of holding on to all of their investments and they don't know what to do. I've been hit up dozens of times on DMs and emails with people asking me, I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. What do I do? So I give them a little bit of advice. Of course, I'm not going to tell them whether to sell or whether to hold. That's a lose-lose game. But what I can offer them is some friendly advice, letting them know what I would do in that situation. It is pretty funny that a lot of people they don't know that you can short stocks, and I want to show you guys how TrickTrades has been capitalizing big time. You'll hear people say, "Oh, well, if you knew the crash was coming, then why didn't you make $100 million?" Well, guys, it doesn't work that way. Okay, that's nonsense. But what I will say, as this has been since October, I've made more money in this time than I have the rest of the year, and that's saying a lot because I do quite well on a month-to-month basis and over the course of the year. But since October, it has been insane. It's been insane. So let me show you right now, for those of you that have stuck around, I'm going to share with you exactly where I think this market is headed. Now, I've been pretty much bang on since. So if you really listen and you have an open mind, and like I said, you listen to me, you're going to be able to really capitalize. I'm going to show you setups that are working perfectly right now. And I'm going to show you exactly what I think is going to happen for this upcoming week, next week, and then the week after. Okay, we need to go in short periods of time because there's a lot of catalysts out right now, like with news and we have the China trade wars, we have the Fed. The Fed has been really instrumental into this crash. President Trump is obviously blaming the Fed. He's got a role in this too, right? There's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of moving parts to markets, okay? But the TrickTrades way of doing things is keeping it extremely simple, forgetting about and blocking out all the noise that's out there, okay? And just focusing on simplicity. Simplicity is what pays. So, without any further ado, let's go to the charts and let's check this out, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Okay, folks. So you can see we have the chart, the daily chart of the SPY, which is the 3 times leverage, the ETF of the S&P 500. Now, we can go with the SPX. This is what all the big boys use, okay? The S&P 500, the Standards & Poor's 500. So what this is this tracks 500 of the leading stocks, okay? So it's actually more. If you look here, it's 505. All right, but there are a couple of doubles in here, like some stocks have, or some companies have A shares and B shares, but that's a whole nother video lesson. But this is what we use to track the markets. Okay, so Foot Locker's in here, Gap. We'll just scroll through a couple. Google, Apple, NKTR. What else? We got lots in here that you guys you're gonna recognize. So it basically all kind of lumps everything together and it tracks it to give an overall sentiment of the market. Best Buy's in here, PayPal, Apple, Facebook, Nvidia, all the big movers, all the big names. Okay, so I like to use the S&P 500, but I use the SPY. This is where I do all my charting on the SPY. Okay, so as I pointed out in the video clip, exactly what I said would happen, especially in this point, this here where I described that this was the most important candle, and it was. And what happened during this week with a target range of 270 being its max high, and then after that completely falling apart, straight green or straight red all the way down with no bounce. And that's exactly what has happened. Okay, so this is from highs. Now this may be off by a couple of cents, guys, because I don't have it on this chart, but in order to get to a bear market, you have to be from highs to the pullback needs to be 20%. 10% is a correction. So let's go in here. We'll zoom in a little bit so I can get pretty close. So we'll go here. So right in this area, okay, right where my cursor is, okay, that's the correction area. So this is where we were at a correction. So it corrected once, twice, 3 times, and then failed. And then the 20% mark is right. Can I get it? Can I get it? Right there. Okay. So just above 235. Well, folks, we closed at 234.34. And that's putting us at, let me just grab that percentage, and it'll be, pretty close. It's not going to be right dead nuts bang on, but 20.28%, or almost 60 points. Okay, so really wild stuff. Stay tuned for this, guys. Really listen to this, because I'm going to have all of my market insight. I'm just giving a little bit of a refresher right now. So when this happened, okay, the writing was on the wall, and as the market was going parabolic in this area here, I was saying, okay, this is it. This is the top. Top's here, guys. And sure enough, she crashed. She really fell apart. Pulled all the way back to the 200 SMA, which is kind of a make or break area. And once we broke this area here, I was like, you know what? I think it's just going to bottom out and it's going to come back up. It'll most likely come back up and test highs, might even break highs, but then that's when it's going to fall apart. And sure enough, that's when it did. So what's happening right now? Okay. It's funny, we were discussing this in TrickTrades chat last night, and which was Christmas Eve. And some members and I were discussing, what's happening right now. And the wild thing is, you can see it, and it hasn't freaked out yet. This may look like panic to you guys, but there has been no panic, or very little panic. Okay? So, what do I mean by that? Well, when you see panic, whether it be on the charts or on the tape, the time and sales, it is erratic. It is, by definition, panic. Okay? So I'm sure you've been in a situation in your life where you were struck with panic. Okay? You're very erratic, are you not? Very erratic, very emotional, very all over the place. Well, I haven't seen that yet. And I keep saying, while we're live on screen share, once we get into these areas where it breaks a support level and it cracks, and I said, okay, here comes the freak out. Here comes the panic. And it never comes. It is strange, guys. I'm going to go on record right now, and I'm going to say that this will be the biggest market crash we've ever experienced in history, okay? I'm willing to bet that. I think that there's something big going on here, and it's not good. It's not good at all, actually. Because what I'm seeing right now on the charts, on the tape, and just the overall feeling of the markets right now is scary. It's very scary. So this crash, you know how everybody says, and some people, some of the bulls out there are saying, oh, well, we knew what was going on before. Like before it was the tech bubble, and then it was the mortgage crisis, but there's been nothing for this one. No, there is. If you know what you're looking for, this is going to be known as the credit crisis. Everyone's so over leveraged and so just maxed out, and we're basically just one step away from complete disaster. And that's what's going on right now, okay? So when this fell apart right here and it broke this support, guys, and it fell apart, it's been straight down, straight down. I actually don't understand why a lot of people are having problems in this market. What they keep doing, the reason why, well, I do know why they're having problems. What they're trying to do is they're trying to catch the bottom. They're trying to catch the bottom. They're trying to catch the bounce. This is complete crash. It's not going to bounce here, right? It's going to come all the way down. Now, I put a target, and I'm on record as saying that we aren't going to bounce until 232.18, okay? Now, obviously, we're getting pretty bloody close. So if it does bounce a little bit before, I mean, I'm going to call that being pretty spot on. But where I called that bottom of 232, I think it was 232.18 or 231.18. I'd have to refer to some notes, but regardless, was back in this area. Okay, I was talking about if we crashed, this is where it's going to bottom, and it won't pull back until that. And like I said before, you'll get the naysayers out there that say, "Well, why haven't you made $100 million?" Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't made $100 million, but I'm sitting pretty right now. Okay, through options and equities, this has been an incredible ride. So if you're struggling out there, guys, and you don't know what to do, and the room that you're in or the service that you're in, or maybe you're not in a service, if they're struggling, that means you're going to struggle 10 times as hard. We're killing it in this market, okay? It really has been an incredible ride. So let's review some charts here now, guys. This, like I said, this is the daily chart. Now let's go to the weekly chart, okay? So the weekly chart here, you can see right at the weekly, on the weekly, this is why we use multiple time frames, okay, guys? So you can see that the market closed right at the 200 SMA on the weekly. That's a really, really, really big deal, guys. These moving averages, like especially the really well-used, well-traveled indicators, are very important. Those are areas that I would call a line in the sand. That is a big deal, okay? Now, you can see that this 200 SMA is tracking very close to the overall trend, okay? Now, this trend, if you were to extend it back, would go back to 08, okay? This is the main trend. This is the important trend. And we're almost at that trend line. Okay, so we may bounce once we hit that trend. Now, stay tuned, guys. I'm telling you, because I don't want you to get faked out. There's going to be a big trap coming. The biggest trap that you've ever seen, and it's coming up next week. So that's the weekly. Now let's go to the monthly. All right. So this is giving us an even wider view, right? So this was the tech bubble of 2000. This was the mortgage crisis, and now this is what we're in. Do you see how long it took to fall apart? Long time, right? Look at this. Look at that one candle, guys. That's what I'm saying. This is crazy, and there hasn't even been panic yet. So what's going to happen when there's actual panic? I also want to point something out. Actually, I'll wait till the next chart here. So this here is the quarterly chart. Now, this is pretty crazy, and I want to show you something. So from highs to lows of the pullback, if you look in the top left-hand corner, okay, you see where all these numbers are going? It says 49.82%, so 50%. So this pullback was 50%. This one was 50% from highs to lows. Where do you think this is going to pull back to? A wise person would say it's going to pull back roughly could potentially pull back 50%. So where does that put us? I'm going to show you something with technical analysis because it's about putting pieces of the puzzle together. So we got highs. We got lows. Look at that, guys. 50%. And it takes us to this support. Now, some people will say, oh, that's way too far. No, it's not. There's no such thing as too far, okay? Not when it comes to the stock market. So, this is incredible, guys. We could easily experience a pullback to 157.52 on the SPY. Let's go to the S&P 500. So that would put us at, now let's get this marked out, guys, okay? At 1576. All right, give or take, right? 1576. And we are at 2351. So from where we are right now to this pullback area, we potentially could go another 33%. Or 777 points. Ooh, that's a pretty lucky number, eh? So I'm just getting you guys prepared. I want to go back to the SPY. So this is the quarterly. Now let's go to the yearly chart, okay? Oh, that doesn't look right now, does it? No, this is the yearly chart. So these are all the very important key support areas, okay? So on the yearly chart, the next major key support is 228.34, this one here, okay? Easily pull back to that area. So we got some pulling back to go through yet, okay? So let's go back to the daily chart. Now enough, Pat, enough. What do you think is going to happen? Well, what I think is going to happen here, what comes next? So this is Christmas Day, December 25th, 2018, okay? So where do I think we're going to go to? Well, this week right now, because it's a chopped up week, so Monday was, the market was open for a half a day, which was the 24th. Today, Tuesday, it's closed. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, it reopens. Regular trading time and all that. There's two ways that it could go. Some people say, well, a lot of people are on vacation. Like all the smart money is away on vacation. No, they're not. Guys, think about it. If this shit is happening right now in the world and in the market, are you going to let your guys go on vacation? Nope. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell that's going to happen. They are definitely at work, okay? A lot of them probably aren't even at home today. They're probably getting prepared and getting a game plan together. A lot of these institutions and hedge funds and all that, guys. This is a big deal, okay? One of my best students and TrickTrades moderator, Moses, sent me a little something last night, and I'm just gonna grab it here just so then I can read it off to you because it's really, really, really interesting. And Warren Buffett, his fourth quarter portfolio drawdown is Apple, roughly 19 billion. Remember, this is drawdown, so this is it pulling back. Bank of America, 5 billion. AXP, 2 billion. KHC, 3 billion. USB, a bit over a half billion. And WFC, about 4 billion. Now, it's all relative to his holdings, his account, his portfolio size. It's massive. I mean, he's one of the richest men in the world. But a lot of people are going through a lot of pain, okay? So a lot of people want to buy the dip. So why are markets like this a little difficult for some to trade? Okay, well, they're difficult because you get a massive tug of war happening. Okay, so think about it. You have people that are selling because they're freaking out. You have buyers trying to come in, trying to pick these stocks up at a massive discount, these dip buyers, okay? You also have people that are eternally long the market. They forget about history and they forget that these markets can really pull back really, really far for a really long time. So they try buying the dip all the way down and they're just getting smoked. They're getting smoked. I personally know of quite a few people that have lost more money than you've probably made in your lifetime since October. And they didn't listen. Nobody listens, right? And that really sucks because I've been saying for over a year, come October, that's it. This market is at its top. It's done. It's going to crash. So that's why markets are really, they're really hard right now for a lot of people because like I said, you get the dip buyers, you also get people selling, and now you got people shorting, right? So you're getting that shorters and sellers and buyers. It's all a big tug of war. Okay, so how does the smart money, and the smart money are institutions and hedge funds, how does the smart money trade markets like this, guys? Well, with all of these stocks, okay, they have massive floats, the market leading stocks, okay? So what they do is they will generally use pre-market and after hours to pop that stock up. They'll take advantage of the low volume, okay? So they will lay off the gas pedal of selling and they will pop and prop up the market. So they'll drive the prices higher. And it's easy for them to do it. They have the money to do it, okay? So because it's low volume, it doesn't take a lot to really pop the market back up. And then what happens is they sell it back down. Okay, a perfect example is yesterday. So the market gapped up, all right? Market gapped up, was cruising along, all of a sudden it freaked out, all right? Then they pop it back up and they sell it off. They squeeze it back up and then they sell it off. Guys, you really need to pay attention to these double tops. Okay? Because that's what they're going to do. Now, I've said this in a previous YouTube video, all right? They pop it up and then they sell it off. And then they base it out and then they start squeezing it. Once you see this higher low, okay, getting put in, that's when they'll start to squeeze it. Okay, they'll start buying a few shares like to pop it up, and then shorts will freak out, and then it squeezes. And then that's when their selling comes back in. They sell it back down. They will do this day in and day out for months now, guys. The double top is huge right now. These setups go in and out of style, and right now, the double top is amazing. When we go back to being a little bit bullish and we notice that they are going to rally the market, what's the opposite of the double top? The double bottom. They will hold the double bottom and then it'll come back up. Okay, and then they'll sell it down and then they'll rip it back up. All right? Because they're buying. But right now, there is no buying. They are selling. The only buying that they are doing is to prop it back up to sell into the dumb money. Do not be dumb money. Do not try and catch the bottom of this market. Okay? So, go back over to the daily chart now. So, like I said, what do I think is coming next? And then we'll wrap this up, guys. I know it's a longer video than I usually do, but there's a lot going on here, okay, guys? So, this here is a big, sharp pullback, which I said it wasn't going to bounce until 232.18, which is down here, okay? Right in this support area. So, Wednesday, tomorrow. This can very easily have a green day, okay? Now, in bear markets, you are going to see big volatility, big downs, and then big ups, meaning big red days and then big green days, just like we had back here, okay? Now, I think that they're going to squeeze this back up to the 250 area on the SPY. So it doesn't matter if you guys don't trade the SPY, guys. That goes for any stock. Apple, Nvidia, SQ, MU, Twitter, Boeing, Netflix, Microsoft, AMD, Intel, Amazon, okay? Facebook, all of these stocks, okay? So they're going to pop it back up. They're going to squeeze it out, and they're going to, what I believe is going to, now this is purely speculation, but I want you to listen because I'm rarely wrong. I'm telling you I'm rarely wrong. What I think is going to happen is they're going to start tricking people. This is going to be the biggest trap that you guys have ever seen in your life. They're going to squeeze it back up. Now, whether it happens this week or next week, I don't know. But it's coming very, very, very soon, okay? So they're going to squeeze it back up to this 250 area. That's the 9 EMA. And then it's going to consolidate for a day or two, okay? And then it's going to break those highs. And it's going to pop up. And then everybody's going to think that the bounce is in, guys. They're going to trap you. And then as soon as they pop it back up a little more, they are going to hammer it back down. They will hammer it back down. And then that's when the true panic is going to start. Nothing is panicked yet. There has been no panic. Okay? Don't let people tell you that there has been panic, because there hasn't been panic. There's just been very steady selling. That is the smart money selling. Okay? Got to remember, guys, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces to the markets. This is important. So please remember, this is what's coming next. I really do believe this. They're going to pop it back up right to this 250. They'll consolidate it for a day or two. And then they're going to break those highs. And everybody's going to say the market is bouncing and we're rallying. Nope. Don't fall for it. Now, you can scalp it out. You can take a little piece of that action on the way up. That's fine. Long or short, at TrickTrades, will teach you both ways. It doesn't matter, okay? But be cautious and be careful. This is going to be the biggest crash in history. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. We're due. There's so many moving parts and moving pieces and catalysts right now that it ain't looking good, folks. So please protect your investments. If you have long-term investments, you need to do some serious consideration, some serious thinking right now, okay? So to the naysayers out there that will look back on this video and whether I'm right or wrong, let's say I'm wrong about this. And like, oh, you're wrong. Nah, you know what, man? It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being prepared and having a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, okay? It's about developing trade plans. And also, before I wrap this up, I just want to say to you guys, if you're a new trader or even a trader that's been doing this a while and you're trading these bullshit penny stocks, okay? And you're listening to these people that are saying, well, I don't care that the market's crashing. The market's crashing. The market crashing has nothing to do with us, because then that's what I love about penny stocks is it doesn't matter. Guys, when this market really does finally really come down, and this ain't nothing yet, these low float junkers are going to disappear. There's going to be no action, man. No action. And it's funny that a lot of these guys are saying this because they've been around since the last crash of the mortgage crisis, okay? And I just find it ridiculous. Come learn how to trade proper stocks, because for the next 6 to 9 months to 2 years, maybe a little longer, it's going to be a short seller's market. And you're going to want to trade these proper stocks. Don't join a service with some punk kid that's been doing this for a year or two, and that's it. Okay, guys? Don't be joining services where they're trading penny stocks with massive size and they constantly keep turning their accounts. All right? Come join a community that actually gives a shit and is going to give you the proper tools to really take advantage of this market and really capitalize. Markets like this, do you know that this is when Warren Buffett made a large part of his fortune? Was back here. He sold puts all the way down. Okay? And that's what I'm telling my folks to do at TrickTrades. Guys, we're positioned very, very, very well. And I don't want you guys to miss out on these opportunities trading these bullshit penny stocks. Wake up, guys, okay? So in that, guys, take what I say, learn from it, do your own technical analysis. Guys, technical analysis is very, very important, okay? And I know that this has been a really long video, but I wanted to point out some of the stuff that I've said in the past that has come through, and as well as give you an idea of what's going to happen. So remember, when it starts to rally, it's fine. You can go long, but don't stay long. And these are for day trades and very short-term swing trades, guys, okay? But anyways, folks, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and make sure to check out my other videos that are popping up around you right now, and we'll check you on the next one. Make sure to check out TrickTrades.com, folks. Adios.